The name that changed the way you see taxis today, Uber, has an evil story behind its relentless pursuit of power. Uber made the taxi experience for the commuters user-friendly and hassle-free, yet it enjoys its fair share of haters. Thiel, a social activist, called Uber, without question, the most ethically challenged company in Silicon Valley. So how did Uber come into being? Who is behind this company? What makes this company evil? If you haven't heard about this before, keep watching, like this video, and subscribe to our channel. Also, if such evil stories interest you, hit that bell icon to get updates. Uber took birth when Kalanick and Garett Camp were stranded in Paris on a snowy evening and unable to hail a taxi. What if you could call for a ride just by tapping your phone? They pondered. It was revolutionary to consider using a cell phone to hail a ride from where you were standing. People wouldn't have to stand in traffic or wander the streets looking for a car. Garett Camp is the man behind the idea of seeing the route in real time and the expected arrival of your car. It was an incredible innovation. This appeared to be well received because Uber quickly gained traction in major cities like San Francisco and Paris. Uber Technologies Incorporated, headquartered in San Francisco, California, is a ride-sharing, taxicab, food delivery, and transportation network company with operations in 83 countries worldwide. Garett Camp and Kalanick founded Uber in 2009, with a beta launch in May 2010 and an official service launch in San Francisco in 2011. New York City, which is currently one of Uber's biggest and most objectionable markets, saw the company's launch in May 2011. Between April 2015 and April 2016, Uber offered close to 170,000 trips per day. Uber announced its low-cost, top-secret Uber X project in July 2012. When the service first started, it was 35% less expensive than the first black cars and offered vehicles like the Prius and the Cadillac Escalade. Uber stole more than 40 workers from Carnegie Mellon University in May 2015 to staff its robotics research facility, which it began in February to develop self-driving cars. Uber and Toyota signed a memorandum of understanding in May 2016 to explore potential collaboration opportunities. In the United States, Uber launched a co-branded rewards credit card in collaboration with Barclays. A $100 welcome bonus and no annual fee were included with the Uber Visa card. Additionally, it provided cash back on purchases made for dining, travel, and some online transactions. On July 9, 2018, it was announced that Uber, in collaboration with Google Ventures, is financing Lime, a company that rents electric scooters. Lime was established in 2017 and has already raised $467 million. Uber, a ride-hailing company, achieved quick global expansion by outwitting regulators, competitors, and governments. The company's success was based on a well-thought-out strategy that involved using the sharing economy and user-friendly technology to set trends and disrupt the market. These qualities are not special, but they are characterized by a ruthless desire for expansion and the capacity to continue innovating. When Uber first debuted, it was a huge success in San Francisco and the 83 countries where it is currently present. Uber was rapidly extending to various businesses and was headed to becoming the most valuable startup in the world, valued at $69 billion after only 9 years in operation. Businesses like Jakarta and Jump Bikes were successfully acquired by Uber. It is said that Uber is the fruit of one man's endeavors, Kalanick. In 1998, he left UCLA to work on his dream project. In 2009, Kalanick co-founded the ride-hailing company Uber. He left his position as CEO in June 2017 and his board position on December 31, 2019. Kalanick, who had owned about 4% of Uber, sold all of his shares for more than $2.5 billion in November and December 2019. The virtual restaurant business Cloud Kitchens, which received funding from the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, is now led by Kalanick as CEO. Prior to Uber, Kalanick co-founded the file-sharing business RedSwoosh and the online file exchange service Scour. Uber was the most valuable startup, but things haven't been perfect for the company, which has been losing billions of dollars annually since 2014 until 2018. That is when the new CEO, Garett Camp, was appointed by Uber. Camp stated to CNBC from the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, that under Kalanick, the moral compass of the company was not pointing in the right direction. The business was accused of having a sexist and harassing culture, while Kalanick was in charge. The allegations contain a memo written by Kalanick that outlines guidelines for consensual employee sex acts. After an internal investigation, the board decided to fire Kalanick. In addition, Kalanick dealt with contentious employee departures, high-profile legal proceedings, revelations regarding a fake app created to deceive government regulators, a foul-mouthed argument with an Uber driver captured on camera, and social media backlash following his appointment to the Advisory Council for President Donald Trump. Uber has encountered abrasive opposition from the taxi industry and government regulators throughout its expansion. In 2014, taxi drivers staged significant protests against Uber in London, Berlin, Paris, and Madrid. Uber has been criticized by the taxi industry for unfairly competing because it avoids paying expensive license fees and following local regulations. Uber bases its price increases on the local supply and demand using a computer algorithm. Charges increased up to 7 times over normal rates on New Year's Eve 2011, which fueled user complaints. In December 2013, when New York was hit by a snowstorm, surge pricing caused outrage once more. The rivalry between Uber and its main rival Lyft has been fierce. Both Uber and Lyft claims that in 2014, both drivers and staff were engaged in sabotage by regularly calling and canceling rides on each respective service. Both Uber and Lyft claim that 2014's drivers and staff were engaged in sabotage by regularly calling and canceling rides on in a Vanity Fair article. Kalanick also blatantly acknowledged that he had attempted to sabotage Lyft's fundraising efforts. Uber is plagued by a long list of scandals, ranging from allegations of sexual harassment to coercive tactics to crush the competition. Uber drivers may earn a good living, but they are unable to apply for installment loans in the event that they do. Due to the uncertainty of their employment status, Uber and Lyft drivers are avoided by banks. The San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency issued a cease and desist order to the corporation in October 2010. The word cab appearing in Uber Cab's name was one of the main issues raised. As a quick response, the startup changed Uber Cab to Uber. Before they arrive at their destination, Uber employees are known to call for Lyft rides, speak with the drivers, and try to recruit them to Uber. The plan has evolved. There is now an official talk guide for Uber recruiters as well as a messaging app that alerts them to which Lyft drivers have expressed interest. In January 2017, the #DeleteUber movement gained popularity after Uber was accused of making money off of a demonstration against President Trump's travel ban. Protests against the ban included a taxi strike at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York. Even halfway through the strike, Uber kept running its service at the airport and even turned off its surge pricing to attract more customers. Furious customers who felt that Uber was taking advantage of the taxi strike and supporting Trump's immigration ban reacted angrily to the move. On Twitter, the #DeleteUber first appeared, and it didn't take long for it to gain popularity. Los Angeles police detained an Uber driver on suspicion of abducting a drunk woman and taking her to a hotel with the intention of sexually assaulting her. According to reports, another Uber driver kidnapped another LA woman. He ignored her questions and directions, drove her nearly 20 miles out of the way, and dropped her off in the middle of the night in a pitch-black parking lot. When she started screaming and causing trouble, the driver locked the doors, locked her inside, and only then took her home. According to NBC, in another incident, an Uber passenger in San Francisco questioned a driver about the route he was taking when things got heated. Driver Patrick Garett stopped the car, got out, and hit the passenger over the head with a hammer, breaking his face and injuring his head. Garett was charged with battery and assault with a deadly weapon, resulting in serious bodily harm. Roberto Chicas, the passenger, underwent reconstructive surgery but has been unable to work since the attack. Following the apology for the company culture, another scandal broke out online. This time, CEO Travis Kalanick was seen arguing with his own Uber driver on a dashboard video. The driver can be seen calmly asking Kalanick in the video why the company has reduced the prices for the upscale Uber Black service, which has resulted in a significant decrease in the driver's pay. Kalanick replies dismissively, "Some people don't like to take responsibility for their own shit," blaming the driver. They attribute all of their problems to someone else. Uber exploits their drivers. They openly reject the rule of democratic law while kowtowing to authoritarian China. They employ vicious and slash or deceptive tactics, and they ignore the needs of the disabled. This isn't even a topic of conversation. It is self-evident. One could even argue that we are all already decided on the issue. Would you use Uber to commute next time? What other companies have such evil stories? Comment and we'll use your recommendations for our next video.